now, on behalf of Deepak, thank you for being here. To remind you, please put your cell phones on silent mode or vibrate. To remind you that there will be no picture taking or video permitted during the ceremony, except for the photographers who will do it here. Now, I'd like to ask you to stand for the singing of our national anthem.
As Government of Canada, we are committed to promoting a culture of sports and physical activity. And we know that with the physical activity and culture of sports, it creates healthy communities. It is very important to get involved in yourself, your body, your mind, and that is the most important part of this seminar. We all lead a stressful life, going through work, going through families, kids especially these days. They give you problems when you go home. You get a lot of stress as well. So I think it's very important to attend these seminars. It's also important to get yourself involved in physical activity. I mean, I'm committed. I go 5 days a week to the gym every morning before I start my work. And I've been doing it for 5 years now. And I think your day goes much faster. And also, if you talk to the kids, once they get involved in any kind of sports, physical activity, they excel in sports. Also, they excel in health, they excel in education as well. So it is very very important to be part of your life every day. And once again, I want to really congratulate Deepak, who's organizing this, and all the organizers, all the volunteers for helping this. I hope each and every one of you take something back with you tonight. Once again, thank you for inviting me, and I wish I could stay for the seminar. I have to leave shortly to catch a flight, so I want to wish everyone a great success. Thank you very much. And I do have a little token of appreciation if Deepak Manchanda is here, close by, for all the hard work he's doing, and keep on doing this work. On behalf of Government of Canada, I'm pleased to send greetings to Deepak Manchanda in recognition of hosting your empowering seminar. I would like to encourage you to continue promoting ways to live a healthy lifestyle by balancing physical well-being and work life. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. We appreciate being here. We do understand you have to leave shortly, but the fact you need time to come out and see us this evening warms our hearts. Thank you for that. Our second speaker of the evening has always been looking out for our safety in the community, within the province, and the eyes of the country. Just returning from a trip with Prime Minister Stephen Harper, he obviously is getting right back to work, and of course is here to join us this evening to learn just as we are. He's been pushing forward to protect us against gang violence and gang recruitment. He's also a member of the Standing Committee of Canadian Heritage, Member of Parliament, Farmville.
Thank you, David. Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor and a pleasure for me to be here amongst all of you on this wonderful evening to hear Deepak Manchanda, truly an inspiring individual who's also launching his business, as we all know. So I was also told to keep it very, very brief, as you know, formation sometimes like to get away. But I know all of you are not here to listen to me today. You are here to listen to Deepak, so I'll let him do most of the work, but I do want to congratulate Deepak for everything he's done, everything he's achieved. One of the great individuals, really hardworking, committed, and a leader in our community. So I know we're all looking forward to benefiting from his seminar here today, and I'm also one of you. So without taking too much of your time, thank you very much. I want to wish all of you continued success, including Deepak. And I do also have a small token of appreciation, as you all know, politicians. This is one of the things that we do is present these certificates. So if I can have Deepak please come up. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day.
As we all know, as we progress through the week, as we progress through the workday, before lunch, after lunch, maybe during lunch, if you have to eat at your desk while you're working, you feel stress. You feel it physically. And when we come here tonight to learn, to be taught a philosophy of improving ourselves, learning to destroy, learning to toss this stress, and move forward in our lives, to drop the anchor that's holding us back. We can't appreciate and let this knowledge in when we are guarded ourselves by stress. You can feel it physically. Now, there are many methods and institutions that teach relaxation. And who better than a yoga instructor specialized with Rikalu to teach us today? She's so involved in yoga that, with her roots reaching back to South Africa, she was involved in a community there where yoga was not very who better to instruct us this evening than Wendy Sheep.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm going to ask you now to just settle back in your chairs, become really comfortable, as comfortable as you can possibly be. Close your eyes, and I just want you to concentrate on the sound of my voice. So close your eyes, just settle back. I want you to think of one item that you would like to improve in your life. Maybe as was suggested earlier, it's going to the gym every morning. Maybe it's doing more in the community, being more with your family. Whatever it is, just think about it now. With your eyes closed, take your awareness to your breath. Just notice the inhalation and notice the exhalation. Allow your breath to deepen. As you deepen the breath, I want you to notice what part of the body is moving as you inhale and as you exhale. Relax deep into your chair. Just notice these gentle movements of your body as your body moves with your breath. Take your awareness to your forehead, your eyes, the tip of your nose, your mouth, ears, a little indentation in the center of the neck, the tips of the shoulders, the right arm all the way down to the fingertips, the left arm right away from the tip of the shoulder all the way down to your fingers, the belly button, the right leg, the big toe, first toe, second toe, third toe, and the baby toe, the whole right leg, the left leg, coming down to the foot, the left foot, the big left toe, first toe, second toe, third toe, and the baby toe. Just feel your whole body as it sits in the chair, all the way from the tip of the head right down to your toes. The whole body. Picture a sunrise and a sunset, a birth and a death. Your body feels very, very heavy. Your body feels very, very light. Once again, just relax in your chair, noticing the breath. Taking your awareness to your nostrils, just notice the breath as you inhale, and notice the breath as you exhale. Slowly open your eyes. Come up to a standing position. So if you all just come up to standing,
Now, I can stand here for hours explaining Deepak's qualifications, but Deepak and his team have created a much more enthusiastic and interesting way to show you, with a video highlighting his qualifications. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Please run the video.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Welcome to 90 Minutes Empowering Seminar with Deepak Manchanda, the Stress Buster. Deepak is the epitome of his namesake, the light. Deepak's power-packed presentations will help you to reduce financial, physical, mental, and emotional stress. He uses new systems and concepts to empower individuals and businesses. His interests and abilities are wide-ranging as reflected in his diverse educational background, which spans biological science, computer engineering, and business. He has a unique distinction of getting his first bachelor degree at an exceptionally young age of 18. He has been recognized as a life coach, mentor, guide, writer, poet, and philosopher. He has helped countless individuals from all walks of life to lead a fuller life. Deepak's 20 years of upper management experience in global franchising and marketing with companies like NIIT, Aptech, and Academy of Learning, some of which have more than 4,000 retail locations worldwide. He is well recognized as a pioneer in various professional segments. During his last 11 years in Canada, he has managed to get 8 consecutive Canadian Consumer Choice Awards and 1 Canadian Top Choice Award on behalf of franchisees of the Academy of Learning in the GTA. He has managed many seasonal partnerships with key players like KLM, Gulf Air, PIA, Air India, HSBC Bank, and People to Go, just to name a few. Deepak has conducted in excess of 200 training sessions in Canada, USA, the Caribbean, the Middle East, and India on behalf of companies that he has worked for. He is very capable of handling small to larger groups whilst captivating his entire audience. His empowering training has rewarded him numerous accolades. Over the years, Deepak can boast hundreds of professional recommendations, more than 300 newspaper articles and interviews worldwide, including the Toronto Sun, 24/7, Metro, just to name a few, and several radio and television interviews in Canadian mainstream as well as ethnic media. On a personal note, Deepak is happily married to his beautiful wife, Reena, and has a lovely daughter, Rushali, who is the apple of his eyes. He is also an avid stamp collector. He loves horseback riding, scuba diving, and loves adventures on the sand dunes. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome on stage the dynamic Deepak Manchanda.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks a lot. Good evening to everyone. My name is Deepak Manchanda. And tonight, I'm here with you for 90 minutes to take your stress out. I have learned one thing, that once you are successful, you are stress-free. So these two words just are tweaked. So to be successful, we need to stay stress-free. So let's see how we could stay stress-free today. But before we go, I would like to share something with you that about 2,000 years, first, how many of you are stressed? Just raise your hands. Great. About 2,000 years back, it was the time for the Greek philosophy. People used to talk about philosophy. 700 years back, it was Bhakti Yuga. People talked about chanting mantras, ways to find the God. 150 years back, probably it was the time for the science. Most of the inventions of the science happened about 150 years back. 100 years back, we talked about the liberation. 50 years back, we talked about the woman liberation. And this is the time we all talk about stress. This is the most common word in today's world. We all have stress. And we are going to work together today to find out the ways and means how we could get rid of this devil. Let's bust the stress. Since this seminar is geared for the people who are already professionals, working at the middle management or higher management, people who are entrepreneurs, so we are talking about the first 30 to 35 minutes just focused on how we could be better entrepreneurs, better employees at the office, and how could we be stress-free in that environment. The next one is the absolute knowledge. I would like to share here that there is a difference between information and knowledge. Whatever we study in our life, physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, everything is just information and stays here. But whatever is written in the divine books, that's the knowledge. Don't lie, don't steal, it's all knowledge and stays here. Because when we do those things, the heart pumps, but not here. So I will be giving you certain ideas, or probably new ideas, just to gel the information and knowledge so that we could be a better person. The third component of today's presentation is to bring the quality aspect in our life. And we need to understand that quality is not something which is achieved once and then we are qualitative. It is something which we need to work every day until we find the perfect version of ourselves. So the last component of the seminar will be focused how we could have a qualitative issue in our life so that we could be a better person. So let's start with the first one, empowerment with the business information. So this component would actually give you help to how we could do very good in the office environment. So my first request to all of you is that we may not have the stress at the office in case if we choose a profession or a career based on our desire and our passion. In this forum, I know personally people who took a decision and are doing great in their life. I have Desi Beats team who was struggling about a year back, and today they are successful because whatever they were doing, they love it. I have Ali, who's taking picture behind me, who has taken his career and is doing great. I have Mr. Narinder Sehgal, live example, who's doing great in his business. And in case if we could learn these things from our peers, our friends, that we should do only those things which could excite us, because then there is no self-appreciation, it is just the self-appreciation. We do not need the appreciation from outside. That basically empowers us once we choose a career or profession based on our desire. Now, once you have the desire to become a musician, let's imagine you would like to become a musician, and I know, especially in this generation, everybody wants to become the musician. But we need to understand that who will pay for our profession? Who will give us the money to feed ourselves? And before I go further, I would like to share here the definition of a professional. We all are professional. Most of us are working in the offices and we are professional. And I would like to share here the simple definition of a professional. A professional is the one who has the information and knowledge and use that information and knowledge for his own bread and butter. That's what the professional are. So we all here are professional because we are using our information and knowledge to have our own earnings. Now we have to find who could pay for our bread and butter. So as a musician, I do not have to become the Elvis Presley. I may have to sing in probably parties, or I may have to become a playback singer. So we need to choose who will pay us for the profession we are getting into and who's our lead. There are 7 billion people, and I could tell you honestly, even 200 years back, we used to have the barter system, where one person will give whatever they do, they will offer it to another person, and they will get something in return. Same way, In the generation we are living, we have our clients in 7 billion. We just need to choose who could pay for our kind of skills and knowledge. And that's the beauty of it. Once you have understood that I'm going to be this because that's my desire or profession, and this is someone who's going to pay for that, the third and important figure is that you need to create the identity. Some of the professions need a suit. You may have seen in 1950s, the sales guys used to wear only the suits. And they used to be 6 feet 2 inches to 4 inches. That was the minimum criteria for the identity, what they were choosing as a profession. And we all need to choose our own identity based on the leads. And that's make us successful and stress-free in our business. Once you are into the profession, once you know it, what you are going to do, you need to take your product. You may have heard this expression a long time, that we should not keep all the eggs in one basket. And that's what I'm going to share it with you. When you choose about your career, make sure that you choose the product in such a way that you have your salary, incentive, and bonus. Ask yourself as an employee if you're working in an organization. If you just get a salary, would you be happy? Unless and until it is, it is accumulated with your incentive and bonus. If you're an entrepreneur, would you be just selling one product, or there will be a range of product which could be used as your incentive and the bonus? Imagine you have a flower shop. So daily bouquet, whatever you sell every day, flowers, is your salary. Sometimes the wedding arrangement could be your incentives, and Valentine's Day will be your bonus. Same way, in case if you are working in a travel agency, daily ticketing could be your salary. Summer holidays could be your incentive, and selling a cruise could be your bonus. So we need to have the less stress. We need to have the products which we could sell over the year in a way so that we have the income from more than one product or more than one service. That has to be embedded in your business when you are working as a professional or even as an entrepreneur. Many a times people ask me when we go to the office where we should put our energy. Or as an entrepreneur, if I have $100, where my $100 are going to be. So the $25 will go into the generation of lead. You need to put 25%, in case if you have $100 for your business, your $25 should go into generating the leads. The 25% will go into converting the lead into the actual business. 25% will go in delivering what you have promised while you sign the contract. And 25% in retaining the business, which is retention. At any point of a time, these are the 4 pillars onto which this tent is being stood. And in case if it is not massaged properly, and any of the pillar is not being given the attention, this tent is going to fall. So you need to understand once you are in the business, your $25 will be going into generation of lead, $25 will be going into conversion, 25 into delivery, and 25% into retention. Anybody who does not understand this is going to sink very soon. Probably in 3 years' time, most of the businesses or most of the professionals who are working in the offices do not do very well because they are not putting their energy into these 4 pillars. They are not massaging the 4 pillars, and that's why they do not do very well in their business or being an entrepreneur. The next step is, once you have decided that this is what my desire is, this is going to be my profession, this is the lead pool from where I'm going to get the lead. This is how our business works. You may have always seen from January to December, the business does not stay stable. Some months are high, some months are low. 70% of business do very well in January, February, March, April, May, and all of a sudden from June, July, August, the business goes down because this is the vacation time, and then September, October, November goes up, December goes low. Unless and until you are in the vacation, you're like, in the travel business, or you want to a different business, but most of the time, this is basically the graph in which every business works. The important is that many a times while you are working, you make your targets in a year by equal distribution among the months. And that's the drawback. That's why people get stressed in the month of December, because they have a shortfall. But in case if you already know that some of my months are going to be better than the other, exactly the same way that in some of the hours in a day are better than the other hours, it is going to give you empowerment in terms of understanding your business and doing very, very well in that. But important is that in the peak time, you must just sell, 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 sell. 80 to 85% of your sales should happen in these months. In the medium time, this is a time for retaining the business. You must have seen most of the barbecues happen funded by the companies only during this month, June, July, August. This is a time you basically make your customer relations, you strengthen the relation for the repeated business, and this is the key to the success. That in case if you are putting your 25% in during these months to retain the business, your business will be very successful in case if you are putting the targets across the year in a uniform way. This is December, the time to take some rest, plan for the next year, and upgrade your staff members. Unless and until your staff is not upgraded, you will never get the results. So in case if you are an entrepreneur, you are working as a realtor, insurance seller, or anything, this is basically should be your graph. This is how you are going to put your dollar values across the year to have the best results. You will get some time for the rest, you will get some time for the upgradation, and you will do amazing. As a thumb rule, once you have decided this is my business, the next step is you have to decide about your territory. From where I'm going to get the business. The whole world could be your territory, but you have to define it. And for that, take a map from wherever you are getting the business. Let's say my territory is Brampton, so I will take the Brampton's map. In case if my territory is Ontario, I will take the Ontario's map. If my territory is the whole country, I'll take the whole country and divide it into some blocks, so-called as zones. Now, most of us will understand who are in the business. I'm not taking the teenagers and I'm not taking the people beyond 65, which are retired group, but the people who actually buys the product more effectively and efficiently, they are between 20 to somewhere around 55. And you must realize that the people who are below 35, their buying decision is little different than the people who are above 35. And in case if you understood this, you will be the best in your profession or your career. So what you have to do is, whenever somebody calls, you just ask about, when did you do your high school? Because asking somebody the age could be offending. But in case if you ask, when did you do your high school, you could calculate what is the age of the person. And in case if you have the zone, it is so easy for us to understand what is our gold mine and what is our coal mine. From where we are getting the business, from where we are not getting the business. Are we getting people less than 35 or more than 35? And according to that, we could design our advertisement, we could design our campaigns, and we could have a better impact in the market as far as our presence goes. Blend non-conventional tools with the conventional marketing to get into the community. Unless and until you are successful in your community, you are not successful. You may be living in that illusion that you are successful, but you are not. So here I am sharing some of the non-conventional tools with you. First one is the common car wrap or bus wrap. And this is an amazing tool. You park it in a parking lot and see the result next day. I would recommend any entrepreneur to have a car wrap and try it parking in the different parking lots few days. And see the amazing leads which you will get, because it's right there, it's your mobile sign. On a Saturday or a Sunday, hire a musician and let it be playing the music in our grocery stores or near the Walmart, or that this 2 hours of music is sponsored by Sun Life Insurance. Let's all enjoy. And just imagine a musician is playing a violin and customers are coming and they are getting stress-free because there is a music to back their stress up. That's what you are supposed to do. And these non-conventional tools are very economical. A car does not cost you more than $250 per month, and in case if you see the number of leads which you could generate, it's amazing. Something like this, you are in the community in 2 hours. I believe 70% of the community you are already known on Saturday or Sunday, in case if you put this kind of a impact in your local grocery stores or the other convenience stores. But the most important thing is to learn to be the tiger in your profession. And the quality of a tiger, the first quality is empathy. You need to understand, since it is your desire, you are doing it, but you need to have the money from the person who's in front. And unless and until you do not understand the needs, you are not going to offer a good product. And that's what empathy, to put yourself into the customer's shoes and provide the solution which is required. The people who have the low empathy, they will never be able to understand their customer. And if you have high empathy, you lead into sympathy. Let's say if you're working in an office and somebody says, oh, your product is very expensive. And if you have a very high empathy, which leads to the sympathy, you also answer, yes, this is very expensive. We need to balance between low and high to have the best combination of empathy and ego drive. We all have ego drive. Ego drive is inside us, which tends us to sell. And when we have the low ego drive, we cannot be a good salesperson. And when we have the high ego drive, we could sell your product and services. You could actually demand the money for your desire and profession. Let's check the various options. If you have a low ego drive and low empathy, you're not fit for that profession. If you cannot understand your customer, if you do not know what they need, you will never be able to provide the solution. And you will never be able to sell it. Low ego drive and high empathy. This is a typical characteristics of a teacher because they are the one who understand the needs, but they are never able to sell anything. High ego drive and low empathy. These are the characteristics of a sales guys who just sell without understanding the needs and wants and sell anything. And the moment you do it, you get one-time sale, but you will never get a repeated sale. And understand, in any business, after the 3rd year, in case if you are not getting 70% of your business through the referrals, it means you are not doing a good job. So any of you who's sitting in this room is getting the business from referrals 70% after the 3rd year of operation is the best person in the business or profession. The last one is my favorite. It is tiger. When you have the high empathy and high ego drive. When you understand your customer very well and you are in a position to ask for the services and product in terms of the dollar value. This is my favorite. And in case if you are not a tiger and you fall in any of the boxes, it is the time either to change your profession or change the style in which you are operating. Otherwise, you will have definitely stress. So question is right in front of us. Would you be interested to have a stress-free professional life by following these easy steps, or you will still struggle? Do you feel you are empowered a little bit that you could do 10% more than whatever you are doing at this time of the time in your office? Then this is you. This is the first component. So I just wanted to give you a little handout that in a business, how you could do better by just adding a little things in your everyday lifestyle and can be empowered to do about 10 to 20% more in your business and stay stress-free. For success, make your passion as your profession so that people use your conscience when they write their stories. That should be your aim. And it is possible only and only in case if you are choosing the right profession based on your passion. That's the first teaching of this particular seminar. Let's move on to the second one and get empowered with the knowledge which stays here. And always stay stress-free body, mind, and a heart. How we could carry, but before that I would like to empower you with some of the information. How many of you know that we breathe through one nostril at one time and for 90 minutes? Great. So the people who do not know this concept are not empowered. So let's see how I could empower you in the next 15 minutes by sharing the absolute knowledge that we breathe through one nostril at one time, and then after howsoever we are engineered. Have you seen a calculator? When you put it on, it goes to 0, right? That's how we are engineered in our life by someone who's probably the higher conscious. That we breathe through only one nostril at one time for 90 minutes, and then automatically shift to the second nostril. But it is very sensitive. Like with this little wind, it will change. So in case if we do not have the control on our breathing pattern, as Wendy explained in the beginning, we'll never be empowered. We'll always have a problem. Now, point is, once you know it, that you have the breathing pattern for 90 minutes through one nostril, how it is going to benefit you. And I'm going to teach you about 2 things. But before I go, just close your eyes so that I could tell you how the breathing affects our body. Close your eyes, please. And breathe through both the nostrils. And breathe out through the mouth. Please, close your eyes. Breathe. Let's go to Niagara Falls, the beautiful falls. Close your eyes. Niagara Falls. Let's come back to our beautiful home. Breathe and breathe out. See your spouse. The car you drive. Go back to Niagara Falls. Come back here, right here. That was you. This is just body and a mind. One which traveled to the Niagara Falls is you. The one which traveled to your home is you. You need to understand we are spiritual beings. We are spirits. No one has to teach us how the spirituality has to come out, and this is the way. You need to empower yourself by understanding and taking the control on your body and a mind through the breathing pattern. Whenever you have to take the empowerment, breathe through your right nostril. Let's say if you are sitting in a meeting and you are sitting with your colleagues who are working at a lower level than you, you breathe through your right nostril. And in case if you are at home and you need to give the empowerment to your wife, breathe through your left nostril, if you do not want to have the conflict on that day. So in case if you have understood the breathing, anytime you have stress in the morning and there is a conflict at a home and you would like to surrender, you start breathing through your left nostril. And few breaths and you will be all fine. And in case if you have a problem, you challenge me, I'm right here. But in case if you want to take the empowerment, breathe through your right nostril. Right now, I need to take the empowerment, so I will breathe through the right nostril. That should be my pattern. Though I'm leaving it to the God to keep it for 90 minutes, but that should be my pattern. We are 7 billion, but these are the common things in all of us, that we breathe through one nostril and we have a same eye focal point. Have you ever realized that we all see on one point? We all have the same eye focal point. And in case if it shifts, either we have the myopia or we have the hypermetropia. We need to focus it, to bring the focus back so that we could see it. In all 7 billion people, this is how we see. You may have seen there are various insects, reptiles, all have different eyes. The fish doesn't have the eye like us. Arthropods doesn't have the eye like us. But they still manage in this world. And how we manage to keep our focal point right there. That's where we are. But the biggest challenge is how we could use this information or knowledge in our empowerment. Now I will share this with you, that in case if your thoughts or emotions are going haywire at any point of a time, you have to move your focal point from here to right here. And then breathe. Just do it for a second. Please close your eyes and get your focal point right here and breathe. Anytime you are in stress, use this technique. Try to bring your focus right in the middle of your eyes on your forehead and breathe. You will be empowered. I promise you, in case if you understand this empowerment and you go back to your office or the work environment or even at your home, you will be doing way better than how you are doing it today. The third common thing among all human beings living in this particular time is our muscular body. We have 1,200 voluntary and involuntary muscles in our body. This is a muscle. Our heart is also a muscle. Our lungs are muscle. So there are certain muscles which we control, which are in our control, and there are certain which are not. Until 100 years back, if we go back in the history for 5,000 years, we used to have both of our side working effectively. But somehow in the last 50 years, because of the office environment or how we work, only 700 muscles work. By the age we are 18 or 19, we are already left-hander or a right-hander. How many of you are left-hander or a right-hander? Raise. Can you work from both the hands? But believe me, there was a time about 100 years back or 200 years back, people were farmers. They used to do the horse riding. Women will grind. Women will churn the milk. It was different. All the four limbs were being used. But then, in our lifestyle, there was a major change. We started using only some set of our muscles, and we became handicapped. Just imagine if you have a car in your parking lot, which has 1,200 pieces, and only 700 works and 500 are not working. And you would like to come from Brampton to my hometown, Stouffville. How many of you will reach? How will you reach where you would like to? That's the question. If you're not empowered, how are you going to reach to your targets? That's the biggest question in front of you. And in case if you have understood, you need to overcome this challenge. Reasons for our physical stress. How many of you are having back pain or shoulder pain? Raise your hands, please. Just because of our lifestyle. Wrong body postures, excess work. Those are the two reasons. Biggest reason. And the remedies? The very first one I would suggest you use all four limbs. You need to understand that cars which we drive today are automatic. Left-hand side is already paralyzed. We don't use even the left hand or left foot to drive even the car. And in our lifestyle, 30% of our time in a day-to-day life, we are sitting in the car. I'm not suggesting you to jump onto the automatic cars or automatic transmission car, but this is your time to understand that in case if you are driving an automatic car, when are you going to put some stress on your left-handed side or a right-handed side in case if you are one of those? You need to use all your muscles, and even now, in case if you start trying and goes up to 850, 900, 950, you will do way better in your life by empowering yourself. Drink water. 8 to 10 glasses of water you have to drink. If you do not have a habit of carrying a water bottle with you to the office or your work environment, you're not empowered at all. Our body needs oxygen, and the oxygen comes only from three places. The water, one molecule, the air, two molecules, and the ozone layer in the morning just for 5 minutes, 3 molecules. How many of you enjoy the ozone layer? Ask yourself. How many of you wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock and have the maximum oxygen? Please raise your hand. How many of you are taking the ozone layer? How many of you are actually knowing ozone layer? Please raise your hand. This is the question. You just know it. You're not implementing it. But when will you do it? Most of us who are sitting in this room are more than 35, 40, 50. If you have a back pain now, how you are going to sustain or how you are going to keep your body when you will be 70 or 75? This lifestyle will not take you anywhere, I promise you. Walk or exercise for 20 minutes every day. And if you do not walk or you do not have the habit, buy a dog and then walk. Take steam or sauna bath at least once in a month. Compulsory. In case if you have pain, this is the remedy for your physical stress. And breathe through both nostrils, sometimes alternate nostrils, but just breathe. This is the second biggest stress in our life. As I told you, the first stress which we tried to remove was the financial stress in our life. The how we could be financially empowered. And the solution was that we should choose a profession based on our desire and passion. Second, we want to get rid of our physical stress. And those 4 or 5 remedies, I think we all could do it based, even in our budget. Swim in a swimming pool in YMCA. Even that will take your physical stress out. The next empowerment is to get rid of your mental stress. The reasons for your mental stress? Lack of good time management. Most of us get stressed in the morning because we do not have very good time management. Comparison. That's the second big reason for us to have a mental stress. Why his shirt is whiter than mine? Did it ring bell? I'm living in a $300,000 home. Why I'm not living in $550,000? That's what brings the stress when we compare ourselves. Unrealistic targets. I would like to go for a foreign trip when we do not have the money for the survival. How could we think about these things? And when you think and implement in your life, for sure you are going to have the mental stress. Remedies: early to bed, early to rise. And I'm not the one who's saying, even your parents said. I'm here to just reinforce you again. If you do not wake up, your routine is going to be the same. Stay in own box by being content. When you work in an office, you need to understand that it is somebody else's chess. Sanjeev Mangi is one of my friends. He told me this thing about 3 years back. And I'm going to share the same thing with you, that this is so intelligent to understand that the person who has the office is the boss of that chess. Why you have to jump in case if you are hired as a manager, why you have to jump to become a director and fight with your own colleagues? Most of the time, when we are working as an employee, we try to work very hard. Only for 3 to 4% of a hike in a year. That's it. If somebody gets a 4% hike, and if you're putting your 24 hours, you might get 8%. But that's the limit. But I promise you, in that office, within 3 years, you will be gone. Because you'll make all your employees, all your colleagues enemies. Because you are going to rush in that office. So in case if that office is not good to you, you move on. There is no need for you to be in that office. But once you have chosen, once you have been selected to be in one box, then you have to stay in that box. And that will make you empowered. If you are an entrepreneur, you need to understand even then that there is a box for all of us. And if we are in the box, we'll never have the mental stress. Bring creativity and innovation in own craft. We are living in 21st century. This is 2012. This is not the machine time. This is the time when there are 7 billion people and we have a tough competition. And the only way we could compete with others even in the name of progress, when we have our own creativity, some innovation in whatever we are doing. Dance, sing, paint, do anything which your heart or mind cool down. Here we have Ranbir Chauhan, a guy who loves the music, and whenever I am with him in the studio, I enjoy every minute being with him. And in case if we could do that, I'm sure we all are empowered. Say nice things to each other, sometimes, at times, but definitely say something. We are too rude, very, very rude. We are stuck in the traffic, and we do not leave even one opportunity to curse the person who is in the second car. Say a thank you prayer at times to extend gratitude to him. He's been kind to us. He's given a beautiful life. But how many of us say one prayer in the day and say thank you very much? Most of the time, the people, at least I know, they say we do not have that. God has not been kind to us. God has been kind to the neighbor. The wife is very beautiful. God has been kind to the person. Very rich. But we need to understand that whatever we have, we need to find ourselves as content. And that'll be the best thing to do. This is the third stress which all of us have. So we have the remedies for the mental stress. I promise you, before we finish this presentation, we will be empowering ourselves to overcome our financial stress. We will be overpowering our physical stress. We will be empowered to take care of our mental stress. And this is the last stress, and the deepest one. How many of you suffer through the emotional stress? Just raise your hands. That's it? This goes very long. Sorry, technology. Reasons for emotional stress. The very first one is when our ethics and moral values are compromised, we get the mental stress. Or sorry, into the emotional stress. Acknowledge, repent, and redeem. Right here. You do not have to wait. You have to redeem for whatever bad has been done right here. Share with less fortunates. Not everybody is fortunate. And in case if we have a good feeling, we should share with the less fortunate. This is the knowledge. Are you empowered with the knowledge? I wish none of us have the stress. And it is quite possible if we start working on it. We need to understand we are human beings. We need to have some kind of control on our emotions, our thoughts. We need to learn how we should be content in our life. We need to learn how we should breathe. We need to understand we are spirit with a body and a mind. We are not body and a mind who possesses a spirit. The last component, can we go back to my presentation, please? I look damn good. Follow two law of forgiveness. This will take out your emotional stress. Forgive and ask for forgiveness. This will take your emotional stress, I promise you. And in case if you want to challenge me, there is an address written on my brochure. Reach me on info@deepakmanchanda.com and I'll handle your questions. I promise you. I promise you I'm going to live in your consciousness for the rest of your life. Because I'm going to contribute in your life maybe a bit, but that'll be my contribution. If you ever forgive anyone, I am going to be with you. But before you forgive others, or before you ask for forgiveness, you need to forgive yourself. The whole life, we don't forgive ourselves. We are on rampage. We wake up in the morning, we have a routine. We do not have any time for these things. But I request you, just take about 5 to 10 minutes in a day, just to overcome this physical, mental, and emotional stress. And I'm sure that you will have the best results. The third aspect is the empowerment with the quality in life. You need to bring the quality. And here I am bringing, in this life, there is nothing plus or minus. There is either plus or a kaizen. Kaizen means kaizen. It's a Japanese word, kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement. The word was being given by Toyota in 1960s, if you remember. And they said that our life is a continuous process of evolvement until we are alive to find the perfect version of self. There is nothing positive or negative. There is positive or a kaizen. And once, like let's say if I smoke, that's a kaizen. And if I do not smoke, it becomes positive. I'm not very good with my teenager kids. Now I am good. It becomes positive. I used to drink a lot. Now it is in control. That becomes positive. Once kaizen is being removed, you are in the path of falling. You are in the path of finding the perfect version. In your sheet, in the envelope which was being given at the registration desk to you, there is a sheet like this. Could you please take it out? It's called as Kaizen sheet. Oh.
I still cover.
My Kaizen. So let's see, without you write, before you write, just listen to me. We need to empower ourselves with the quality aspect. We need to learn how we could be a better person, how we could find the perfect version. Before we do that, I'll just share it with you how we are going to do it. Write your name, whatever. And my Kaizen is that I am late for my appointments. Suggested solution? My target date to remove this Kaizen is December 8, 2012. That I will never be late after that for my appointment. My suggested solution? Wake up 20 minutes before and book appointment with at least half an hour. I'll come back to that. Right now, we are in a culture where when we are booking the appointment, we are saying, oh, I will be there at 8 o'clock. And most of us reach there between 8:15 and 8:30. How about if we develop a culture with 200 people in this forum and say, I will be in your office between 8 and 8:30, giving half an hour margin to the person who you are meeting and taking half an hour margin to yourself. 404 is becoming busier every day, I promise you. 401 is no more a highway. When you know these things, why would you not set up an appointment in a way that it gives you a range? I will be with you between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, which makes you empowered. Even if you're stuck in the traffic, you are still empowered because you have the margin. The sheet which you have in your hand has the days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I wrote my Kaizen, late attendance, and there are highs and lows. The people who know about the graph sheet must understand that there is a low and a high. On the day I am not in time, it means it should be low. So I will draw a line, low on Monday. The day I choose to be in time, I'll put a high. And I'll go on plotting this graph based on my activity, whether I was trying to empower myself, and one day the line will become straight. And the day it happens, the Kaizen is removed. And you are in the path of finding your perfect version. Simple concept. In our life, there's nothing positive or negative. There is positive and a Kaizen. And once the Kaizen is being improved, you become positive. And this process will continue until our last breath. Because we do not know when we are going to find our perfect version. I'll just cover some of the Kaizens. Poor communication. Many of us have this problem, or a Kaizen, not negative, just a Kaizen, because we come from different countries. Most of us are immigrants. And the solution for it, go for shopping and interact with the shoppers for your preference. I'm not insisting you to buy anything. Go to the shopping mall. Talk to the person who's seller. And just ask about your preference. This is what you would like. Go to the appliance shop. They have 5 appliances to sell you. They take about 45 minutes to 1 hour just to sell you the appliances. That's where you get your communication better. Take calls from the call center, what you get in the evening. Unless and until you have a better communication, you could. But any calls coming in the evening, and if you have a poor communication, start interacting with the call center guys. I'm positive within 3 weeks' time, your communication will be way better where you are. Just a small thing. I'm not asking you to spend money and go and take your speech classes, or I'm just going to tell you the simple thing which is at your doorstep without any money, and in 3 weeks' time, you have a better communication. Kaizen, getting into argument. Very common. How many of you get into the argument every day? Please raise your hand. Please make me happy at least that you are honest. Okie dokie, many. Solution, talk as if you are recorded. All the time, when you're in the office, when you're interacting with your employees, when you're interacting with your colleagues, just feel like you are being recorded. And I'm sure that the protocol of communication will be way better wherever you are today. And never send abrupt emails when you are angry. You put it in your outbox, but never send at least for the next 24 hours. Or change it, make it a little mellow down, and then send it. The results will be way different. Kaizen. Team members not cohesive. Anybody who's having more than 3 to 4 people in an office, they have the common problem. In 6 months, from 6 months to 1 year's time, they start realizing that they do not have the cohesiveness among the employees. Team members not cohesive. Solution, the Kaizen. Give separate job profiles to each one and appraise them once in 6 months. There'll be no competition because everybody will be focused what they are supposed to do in that office. And you will have the cohesiveness. How many of you have been to the post office to post a letter? Have you seen the postman who takes the letter? He just puts the stamp. No emotional feeling. That's it. Once your office, when you learn the cohesiveness, that you are working in an office and you're supposed to give some work to your colleague or your external customer, just have to show only 0 emotions because that's your job. Why would you be angry in case if you're helping in the office? Why would you be happy in case if you are giving something to the customer who has paid you for those services? It's a contract in which you are already in. You need to have no emotions onto that. Yes, you could cherish your result, you could appreciate your result, but as far as your emotion goes while you are on the job, it should be minimum. And in case if you understand that, you are empowered. Next Kaizen. Not spending enough time with family. How many of you, please raise your hand and be honest this time. You do not spend quality time with your family because you have a busy schedule. My simple solutions, fix few days in a week. On Monday, we'll have a pizza day. Once in a month, we will definitely go for the movie with the family. Small thing. Take a budget of $100 in a month and you will be empowered. Just within $100, you will be able to have 10 out of 10 as far as your family life goes. Can't handle teenagers. How many of you have teenagers? Remember, teenagers are impatient. They're always like, have you seen teenagers? They're not still. They come to you and they have something. And when you ask them, they just lie down on the bed. What's the hurry? I would like to have, you may have seen parents demanding something from the teenagers, and teenagers don't give a damn. Wait, who's in hurry? My school is at 7 o'clock. How many of you have teenagers who doesn't wake up at 7 o'clock? It's the parents who wake up. Solution? You need to understand intelligently that everybody goes through this life pattern. They are impatient. You need to deal with them. Be patient to be with this impatient segment. And if you're not, you have seen these sad stories where teenagers just, my son ran away. That's the very minimum. But you have seen teenagers taking very bad decisions in their life once they are not entertained properly by their parents. Drug problems, suicides. This is the cause. And you need to be intelligent today by being in this session that I could empower myself and be gentle and good to my teenager and get the best out of that person. If you could do it, I will live in your consciousness. Kaizen, fighting with spouse. It's a delicate one. I will not ask how many of you fight. I know the answer, even if you are dishonest. Remarry your spouse. This is the only solution. Many of us has forgotten even the vows which we took. The only way to bring back the harmony in the relation is to understand the bonding of marriage. And the moment you will understand, you will never argue with your spouse. And in case if you challenge, you know my email ID, info@deepakmanchanda.com. Now I'm giving you an opportunity that the journey could start from here. and write a Kaizen which will turn you into a perfect version sooner or later. So let's start. You have the sheet. There are 7 Kaizens you could write, 7 or 8 Kaizens. You could start at least with the one. And those sheets are with a good quality. You could put right onto your desk, the office desk, and manage and monitor your own Kaizen until you find the perfect version of self. And you know it when it is. Until we are breathing. Can you please get your sheet out and try to find one Kaizen in you? And if you have a challenge, ask your spouse. Ask your teenagers. For them, their parents are almost psychotic. This is your opportunity to start a journey to find the perfect version of yourself. So let's start the journey together and write the Kaizen. Please write down. I'm coming to you. This is your time.
I have no Kaizen.
Oh. Please write your Kaizen. You have a Kaizen. You're not blessing me anymore. Bless your youngers. That's also one of the good things which you could do. Write your Kaizen, please. And don't copy it. Try to be innovative, at least in finding your own fall or own Kaizen. How are you guys doing? Hi, Shyam. Jyoti, help him to find at least 2. Joginder, you need about 4. Yeah, I'm watching you. Sanjeev need about 5. Give him another sheet, please. Give him a supplementary sheet. In case if you like anything what I have shared with you, this is what I'm asking from you. Write your Kaizen and let's start the life. The real life without stress, by being empowered and successful. Couldn't find one? Wrote. Very nice. Take help. Yes, this is the time. You could carry this sheet is for you. You do not have to give it to me. You could carry along with you, put it on your desk, and ensure that you are monitoring your Kaizen every day. And this Kaizen need to be, if you remember how we started, this Kaizen need put your name, write your Kaizen, write the date by which you would like this Kaizen to be removed. And we are not talking about the New Year resolutions, please. I don't want you to break it on January 1st.
15 is fine.
15th is fine, yes, Satiji. 15th is fine. Write your suggested solution because I cannot give you the solution for your Kaizen. You need to understand after this seminar, I do not know if I will meet you every day. You need to monitor your own self. And I am giving you the monitoring tool, the self-monitoring tool that even if DM is not with you, you have the consciousness which you are carrying today and will definitely find the perfect version. We'll start with Aman. Aman, did you find the Kaizen? Very nice. All right. I'm giving you another 5 minutes because I would like to take you in this journey of finding the perfect version. Ghazal, help Vinod. We need about 5. You have 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes your life can be changed, honestly. You just need to develop the habit of being the perfect. Daksha, you seem to be very content. That's nice. question answer because I'm finishing faster, so I'll take questions.
This is my cousin is watching.
Jaxa, we need to have the discussion later after the session. Anybody who has already written the Kaizen, please raise your hand. Please, I would like to see. I love you. You are the honest people. First in the honest list. All are following you.
You're not filling out one yourself. No Kaizen.
You will not believe it that when I got the stationery printed, I had the hundreds of these for me. You see, we all have stress. We all have Kaizens. I'm standing in front of you, it does not mean that I don't have stress or I'm a perfect person. But I have learned that I could control my stress. I have learned that I could overcome my own shortcomings and at least find the Zen version of my own self. I'm just true and honest to myself. And today's seminar is to make yourself true and honest to your own self. We'll start with Jyoti. Hi Jyoti. Could we start with your Kaizen, please? Yeah. Yes. I'll go closer to Jyoti. Could we have a mic, please? Anybody could help me to give a mic?
No, I don't think you.
Oh no? It's a personal Kaizen?
No, it's not that personal. Anyways, I've written handing my teenagers.
Handing my tea. Okay, very nice. And the solution? Because I tell you honestly, we are intelligent human beings. And whatever Jyoti or anyone is going to share with you is probably your solution too. So I will encourage, in fact, that we should talk about these solutions. And today, let's become the extension of each other's consciousness. And when we leave this room, we have 200 solutions for our problems. Let's carry on. Jyoti, what is your solution? All right, be patient. Yeah. The jerky ones. We need right now. You know, when they were not teenagers, they will just lie down. We need it now. Now they stand and they still want. We need now. All right, Jyoti, thank you very much for sharing. Could I go on this desk? Siji, please. Would you do the honor for sharing the imperfect version of your own self? Smoking, good. And how you're going to take care and what is the target date? That's the most important. 5th. It is a New Year resolution? Okay, 15th. So he's not breaking it on January 1st, it is January 15th. That's a good start. Thank you very much, Sudhiji. That's a good start. So January 15th, you will get rid of the smoking. My grandfather used to say that it is not only smoking or drinking. It could be eating rajma rice also. Any habit which is beyond a limit is bad. Sudhiji, what is your solution? How you are getting rid of this particular problem, which is smoking? I was a smoker before I was a smoker. I smoked for about 20 years. And one day, I just quit. Cold turkey. What is your solution, sir?
Solution is same. Need to be cold turkey, definitely.
Right.
But just putting into the mindset.
Great. I will suggest, in my own experience, I am only 43 years old. But there has been a lot of experience God has put me into, and I'm very, very thankful to Him that He has been kind to me. And I do not know if you realized while you were seeing even the pictures, believe me or not, for about 18 or 19 years, it is only in the last 3 or 4 years when the Facebook came in existence, I never knew even what was there in my box. I never saw even my own pictures. How many of you have seen your engagement or marriage picture once it was done? Honestly. Okay, one, you love your wife for sure. But how many of us? Nobody. Thanks to the Facebook, that created a phenomenon that we brought back our memories and have the laughs or take our stress out. How many of you felt stress-free when the Facebook came into existence in the beginning? You start finding your friends from the 20 years, 30 years. And that was the amazing part of it. So thank you very much, Aditi. Cold turkey is the only and only solution when you have to get rid of your Kaizen. That's the only solution. Could I go here, Kamal? Could you please come up with your Kaizen? You must be amazed how am I knowing all the names of the people? Because I sold them the tickets.
I get upset when people not performing.
Sorry?
I get upset with my staff not
When people not performing, okay. And what is your solution? This is very important. Anybody who's, Kamal has his own accomplishment. I know him personally for last many, many years. He's an educator. He has training institutes. He's contributing in creating the employment opportunities in Toronto by having his 3 schools. And I'm sure that we definitely have a platform to listen to Kamal and find out what is his solution. Please, Kamal.
call Deepak for such seminars to improve my staff's quality and performance.
Great. Thank you very much for your appreciation. Thank you. Tony, my good friend, what's your Kaizen today? Tony is the director from Sun Life, and he's doing great. He's one of the great guy in his own team, being mentor to many of the agents, and is always well accomplished and well speaking. Please, Tony.
Exercise 5 days a week.
Exercise 5 days a week, okay. I didn't see your belly last time.
Still needs to.
You're hiding even today.
And December 1st is mine.
December 1st?
Is my target.
Great.
My suggested solutions are take the stairs as often as possible.
Beautiful.
Take the elevator. Walk whenever possible.
Beautiful.
Right. Have more sex.
You burn a lot of calories in that, you're right. Great. Great, great, great. Anybody who's not encouraged taking the staircase, I request you once go to the Thornhill Employment Hub. And Wendy has put on every story, she has the motivational posters. I don't like the stairs, but once I started, you will not believe it, I went up to the last. Her office is on the 5th floor, and I'm very lazy, especially when it comes to the stairs. But I love going on stairs to the 5th floor in Wendy's office. So anybody who wants to be encouraged that you need to reduce the weight, this is one of the solutions. And please be motivated when you go to the Thornhill Employment Hub. Thank you very much, Tony. Thanks a lot. I'll take this table. Anilji, what is your Kaizen? Yeah, it is you now. I remember all the names.
We are bad in this. I argue too much.
You argue too much? So what is your suggested solution?
That way I want to listen to everybody.
So that you could speak less. Very nice. You see, God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. He always wanted us to hear more. This is the best solution. Thank you very much. Because of the time constraint, we may not be able to take other Kaizens, but you have understood the concept that this life is a continuous process of evolvement, evolving until we are alive to find the perfect version of self. Life is beautiful, but only who's empowered could make it. Are you empowered? Great. Are you empowered? You are empowered if you have decided to make your passion as your profession. You are empowered if you have decided to forgive and ask for forgiveness. You are empowered if you have understood that this life is a journey of finding the perfect version of self. You are empowered. I congratulate you, everybody. I request everyone, they have a mug on their desk. Could you take the mug on your table? Just one person. Just one person, and just take, there is something, could you take it out? And give one to everyone. Please, give one to everyone. Give one to everyone. I would like to call here Jack Barwal. And I'll take the privilege, since he's empowered, I'll put it on his coat.
Thank you so much, Deepak.
Thank you, sir. You have always been an inspiration.
Thank you so much.
I will not tear it apart, we'll just put it like this.
Not a problem.
I request everyone to rise, please. Thank you very much. And take this and put to the person who is on left, and the left will put on to the right. Could you do it, please? And just feel everyone is empowered. The person on the left will put on to the right, and the person on the right will put on to the left. And let's be empowered. The people who have already put could take their seats. Great. You see, the common thing which we have today is our commitment that we are empowered. Thank you very much. I would like to say thank you to all the sponsors who did a wonderful job by making this event a great event, especially Sun Life, who not only were the sponsors but gave me the first opportunity when I decided to become the speaker. And to be honest with you, I wanted to become a speaker 15 years back. I always wanted to be whatever I am today. This was my desire and passion. And there are many who are sitting here, Vinod, Mala, who probably felt that and insisted me that I should not go haywire and be focused. So thank you very much, guys. I'm standing here. You have contributed in my life also. Even you will stay in my consciousness. I'm going to take your question answers, don't worry. I'm thanking my team, the volunteers, the people who are with me, who are working day and night for the last 90 days. I saw this dream of standing right in front of you on 15th of August. That was the India's Independence Day, I just remember that. And I started my journey every day. And many people joined, starting from Sudhir Pawar, who was with me for every presentation. Before coming here, we organized about 6 seminars. Home Life was one of the kind office. Sun Life, after Sun Life for sure. And my favorite, Wendy. I do not know what confidence she's having in me, but for the last 10.5 years, she has treated me like the best person. She has been with me in this journey, and I'm very thankful to you, Wendy, to give me this platform being here. Thank you very much. I will not forget I'm very forgetful. That's what my family says. To say thank you. When I was on this journey, you could imagine, I was not helping my daughter in the homework. I was not cleaning. I was not doing anything. I was just focused because my desire and my passion became my profession. Thank you very much for giving me that liberty to live my dream so that I could stand in front of you and get these kind of applause. Thank you very much. And now it's your time. You could come up with your questions. I'm standing right in front of you. And whatever wisdom I have, I will extend my consciousness to you. Yes, sir. Please.
So, Deepakji, my question is this, that what was the major Kaizen you had it for yourself?
Sure, I will repeat, don't worry about it. We just have one microphone, but I will definitely repeat. So the question is, what was my major Kaizen which led me to here? I believe I had many. I'm from city of temples, Jammu. After every 5 homes, there is a temple. But I do not know what happened when I was 11. Everything changed. And until 35, I was on rampage. I didn't have one reason. My whole life was messed up. My life was full of kaizens. And one day, I took the empowerment. I'm teaching and I'm sharing these kaizen for the last 15 years. And may have failed in the first 5 years, but after that, I never. So it was whole bunch rather than one. Yes, sir.
So you cannot name it one?
Smoking, drinking were the 2 biggest because my daughter became very happy when I quit smoking and my wife became very happy when I quit drinking. So not only I remove my kaizen, but I empower my whole family and make them happy. I think those were the best ones.
How did you do it?
Cold turkey. I will not name here, but I've seen very bad things. It was cold turkey. I just quit. Thank you. Any other questions? I seem that everybody is empowered, and I'll leave it to you. Let's have the dinner. But before that, I would call Dave and take his place. Thank you very much, guys.
Deepak, on behalf of all the audience members and myself, we do thank you and your team for giving us your time today. Thank you once again. I'd like everybody to know that we appreciate your time today. Deepak will be available for photos if you'd like to do a little photo walk with them. Sunlight was one of our sponsors today, and they've actually brought some models. We have them available to give away. So please make sure that you do collect one now, or during dinner, or before you leave. I would also like to remind you that inside each of the packages that you have received today are some feedback forms. We've actually provided pens on the table for you to use to fill these out, and they will be collected. You can drop them off here in the bar area on your way out later this evening. We do appreciate all of your honest remarks. And now, I'm sure we're all getting hungry. We all like to enjoy the rest of our evening in comradeship. I would like to ask Alison to come and give a blessing.
I hope everybody is empowered, I'm sure you are. Thank you all for joining us. And please make sure that you fill out the feedback form. It's essential that you do that. This is Deepak's inspiration for this beautiful job that he's done on stage. Your feedback is very, very important to him. So please take your time to fill out the forms and put your thoughts in writing, please, because he treasures them. He's not looking for payment, he's not looking for money, but your good words is what he treasures. So please take your time to encourage him and thank him for empowering you and express in any way that you can in writing how this seminar today has affected you. Ladies and gentlemen, as he mentioned in his speech today, there's absolutely nothing without the power of God. And I know that Deepak is a very spiritual person. And I personally believe that Deepak was sent to us as an instrument from God, and he's channeling his energy. And he's asked me today to do the blessing, and I do that with great honor. So please, in whatever way that you pray, be you a Hindu, Sikh, Christian, Roman Catholic, Muslim, in any way that you pray, please join me in this prayer. This prayer is by my Guruji, who is from Rishikesh. It's a universal prayer. And this prayer encompasses all human beings. It's called the universal prayer. Please join me in this prayer. O adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art Sat Chid Anand. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us all an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptation and to control our mind. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, anger, and hatred. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us be holy in all these ways and forms. Let us serve thee in all these ways and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. Let thy name be forever on our lips, and let us abide in thee forever and ever. Thank you very much.